Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRIENDS and Detroit LIONS fans. Let's get to the news. Well, Lions fans, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could be a game changer, not just for this season, but for the future of our beloved team. Rumors are swirling around the NFL that the Indianapolis Colts, who are currently navigating a rebuild after a shaky start to the 2025 season with a 4-5 record, are considering some bold moves. And one of those moves could involve none other than Quenton Nelson, the Colts' star guard, potentially heading to Detroit. Yeah, you heard that right, a blockbuster trade that might reshape the offensive line and bolster our chances at a deep playoff run and, who knows, even a shot at the Super Bowl. Now, let's step back and look at what's fueling these whispers. The Colts, despite having some cap space, around $15 million, are struggling on offense. They're allowing about 3-6 sacks per game, which is a pretty high number, especially for a team with aspirations to contend. Their offensive line has been a weak spot, and with quarterback Anthony Richardson under pressure, the offense isn't clicking the way they hoped. Richardson's completion percentage is only about 60% under duress, and the team is allowing an average of 21 points per game. It's not terrible, but it's not good enough if they want to turn things around quickly. And that's where Nelson, a 29-year-old elite guard, comes into the picture. For those of us who follow the trenches closely, Nelson is a true run-blocking machine, and his presence on the field is game-changing. Up to Week 10 of 2025, he hasn't allowed a single sack, 0 sacks allowed, folks, and his PFF grade hovers around a stellar 93.2, putting him among the top guards in the league. His run-block win rate is around 85%, and he's consistently creating running lanes that allow the offense to thrive on the ground. His EPA per rush is plus 0.38, and he's only allowed 8 pressures all season, which is remarkable considering the high level of pass rush in today's NFL. Nelson's career since 2018 has been nothing short of legendary for an offensive lineman. 6 Pro Bowls, 4 All-Pro selections, and an average of just 0.3 sacks allowed per year. He plays nearly every snap, about 96% of the time, and maintains top-tier endurance and consistency. His run-blocking prowess is unmatched, and he's been a cornerstone for the Colts' offensive line when healthy. His ability to open up explosive lanes has been compared to Kevin Zeitler's impact in past Super Bowl runs, and imagine what he could do with the Lions, especially with Jared Goff leading the charge. Now, why would the Colts even entertain trading Nelson? Good question. Indianapolis is looking at their roster and seeing that their offense isn't quite clicking, despite their cap space. They seem to view Nelson as a luxury they might not be able to afford in a rebuild, especially with the team's focus shifting toward drafting young talent and accumulating future picks. The Colts, currently allowing an average of 21 points per game and struggling to maintain consistency, might see trading Nelson for a first-round pick in 2026 as a way to accelerate their rebuild and stockpile assets for the future. On the other hand, the Lions are in a different position altogether. Sitting at 8-1 and with around $8 million in cap space after the trade deadline, we're in a prime spot to make a move that could elevate us to that next level. With Graham Glasgow out in Week 10 and other injuries in the offensive line, adding a player like Nelson could be just what we need to solidify the interior. His presence would be especially vital to protect Jared Goff, who's been performing at an elite level this season, and to maximize the potential of our rushing attack, Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, who have been a huge part of our success. Think about this. Nelson's addition would fill the void left by Glasgow and Christian Mahogany's absences, providing stability and experience at a critical time. His run-blocking stats would give our rushing game an extra boost, potentially a 17% increase in EPA per run, and improve our yards per carry. We're currently averaging around 4.7 yards per carry, but with Nelson clearing the way, projections suggest we could push that closer to 5 yards per carry, making our ground game even more explosive. And if you're thinking about the bigger picture, this move could have a serious impact on our playoff positioning and even the Super Bowl odds. Right now, the Lions are sitting at plus 1,500 odds to win the Super Bowl, but if a trade like this materializes, bringing Nelson to Detroit, it could significantly shift the momentum. Experts speculate that our odds could plummet to around plus 700, reflecting how much of an impact a player like Nelson could have, especially in the playoffs. His ability to provide almost impenetrable protection for Goff and to create massive running lanes would be the kind of boost that turns close games into blowouts and playoff performances into memorable runs. From a strategic perspective, bringing Nelson into the fold also sends a message across the league. It shows that the Lions are serious about contending now, not just in the near future. It's a statement that we're willing to make bold moves to secure our spot at the top. This move would echo past Super Bowl-winning teams, where dominant offensive lines have been the backbone of their success. Think Kevin Zeitler, or even the legendary lines that protected quarterbacks and opened lanes for explosive rushing attacks. Now, let's talk about the ripple effects. If the Lions acquire Nelson, it won't just be about improving the offense, it's about transforming our entire identity. With that kind of interior protection and run-blocking dominance, Goff will have more time and space to operate, making our passing game even more dangerous. It creates a chain reaction, more sustained drives, more scoring opportunities, and less pressure on our defense to hold down the fort for too long. Our defense has been decent, but with a more efficient offense controlling the game and keeping the ball longer, they'll be fresher and more effective. Plus, the added protection helps reduce sacks and injuries, keeping our key players healthier down the stretch. And let's not forget the emotional and psychological boost. Adding a player of Nelson's caliber, a proven leader and one of the best guards in the league, would energize the locker room. It sends a clear message to our players and fans alike. The Lions are all in, pushing for that elusive Super Bowl. The fans are already riding high at 8-1, but imagine the confidence and swagger that a move like this would give us heading into the playoffs. It's about building a sustainable winning culture, and bringing in someone like Nelson would be a major step in that direction. Of course, there are skeptics. Some say that trading a first-round pick for a guard might not be the smartest move, especially given the value of picks in building a deep young roster. Others argue that the Colts might prefer to hold on to Nelson and continue their rebuild with draft capital. But for us fans, we see the big picture. Adding Nelson could be the piece that elevates us from a good team to a true Super Bowl contender. It's about seizing the moment, making bold decisions, and betting on our current roster's potential to achieve greatness. In the grand scheme of things, this hypothetical move underscores the shifting landscape of the NFL. Teams are constantly looking for that extra edge, whether it's in the draft, free agency, or trades, and Detroit has shown in recent years that they're not afraid to make bold moves when the opportunity presents itself. With the NFC North still up for grabs, and the Lions sitting comfortably in first place, now might be the perfect time to pull the trigger on something that could define the franchise for years to come. So, Lions fans, keep your eyes peeled because the next few weeks could bring some surprises. If this trade happens, it could set the stage for a historic season, one that fans will be talking about for generations. And remember, the NFL is unpredictable, but one thing is for sure. Our Detroit Lions are on the rise, and with the right moves, there's no limit to what we can achieve. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Detroit Lions news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Detroit Lions. Do you believe we should make a move for Nelson? How do you see him fitting into our scheme? Would this be the boost we need to finally get over the hump and contend for that Super Bowl? Let us know, because your voice is what makes this community great. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news. Together, we're building something special, and the future looks brighter than ever. Keep the Lions' pride alive, and let's keep dreaming big, because the best is yet to come.